Okay, good morning and welcome to Just Daf It, Daf Yomi Shir. We're learning Maseches Kesubos, Daf Ches number 8. We have a special shir for you today. I promised yesterday you're going to get that little vort, that little nice idea you can tell your friend when you're sitting and waiting for the chuppah in America. And even in Eretz Yisrael where there's no seats and you're just standing, obviously the more Haredi, I guess the more secular people, they have seats also, but in more Haredi traditional weddings over here, you're just standing, milling around. You could walk over to that guy that, you've been avoiding for the past month, 2 months. You don't want to have a relationship with the guy. The guy keeps on saying hello to you in the morning. And it's getting annoying. You don't want to say hello to the guy. You have no relationship with the guy. You know, he's just one of these people that always say hello to everybody, and you don't want a relationship with him. Go over to him. Tell him a nice word about Sheva Brachos. I'm going to tell you today. I'm going to explain a little bit in the regular shir and more in Iyud Ben Sion. We really have a fundamental idea over here, the difference between Sason and Simcha. I know many people have tried to distinguish between the two. I really feel I have a distinguishing character between the two. And in fact, it's going to also explain the idea of creation, how man was originally created. Was he created, man and woman was created together, seemingly? Two heads, one head, androgynous, hermaphrodite. The difference between androgynous and hermaphrodite, there is a difference between the two. We're going to get into that and we'll talk about the different types of joy, how there's joy versus euphoria, two different types of happiness. Euphoria is experienced by a man, joy by a woman. How it plays out, Sheva Brachos versus Simcha. As I said yesterday, it's clear from the Gemara, from the bottom of Zayim and Aleph, is the difference in Simcha, which is for the woman, and Sheva Brachos, which is Birchas Chasanim, which is for the man. We're going to talk all about that in Iyud Ben Sion, and I will mention little trailers in the shir itself. Let's get started. The bottom of Zayim and Beis. The last line, what we colloquially call Sheva Brachos, at all 7 days after the marriage, right? Amrav Yehuda, Husha Bo Panim Chadashos. It has to be after, obviously, the ones at the wedding. There's all the people are Panim Chadashos. You can only say the Sheva Brachos if you have a new face, someone new coming there. We'll explain why. Iyud Ben Sion, this all fits into my idea. That's not Simcha. If you have the same people, it's not a new euphoria. It's not a new enjoyment, not a new euphoria. It's very special. It's just the same old people, the same old uncle, the same old aunt with their boring conversations about the weather and the Mets. All right. My Mavarich. So Gemara says, what bracha are you going to say? What are the brachas? What are the Sheva Brachos? Am Rav Yehuda, Baruch Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam. The first one, top of Ches Ben Aleph, Shakol Niyeh B'dvaro. I said that on purpose to test you. No, it's not Shakol Niyeh B'dvaro. Shakol Bara Lechvodo. That's a good joke, when you're saying a bracha on water, you say Shakol Bara Lechvodo. Don't say Hashem's name. Baruch Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam. Shakol Bara Lechvodo. And you get everyone to answer Amen. Got you. You gotta do that. Try it. Shakol Bara Lechvod, that's the first bracha. Yotzer Adam, the second bracha. Yotzer Adam, Hashem created man. And third bracha, Hashem Yotzer Adam, B'Salmo, B'Salmo, Du'Astam. Niso, V'Hiskin Lanu, Mimenu, Binyan Adiyad, Baruch Hashem Yotzer Adam. Seemingly two brachas about the Yitzir of Adam. This will fit into the creation of man. Created man / woman, man with a woman inside of him. Maybe the difference between the two. This third bracha is interesting. It sounds like, we always talk about the Tzelem. We're creating the Tzelem, the image of God. Is God a human being? Is he a human being? And here it says even two things. Tzelem, the Tzelem of God, which is the face, the image of God. And the Tavnis, the body of God. So it seems like God actually has human characteristics. We know that, of course, that's not true. The Rambam says, of course, it's not true. But you have to try to figure out what this bracha means. So says the fourth bracha, Tagel HaKara. It's really not the fourth bracha, it's the fifth bracha, because the first bracha is Baruch Piyagaf, there's only 6 brachas mentioned here. So it's the Gal Agara, B'Kibus Manel, Socha, B'Simcha, Baruch Hashem, B'Sameach Sion, B'Manel. It's talking about Yerushalayim. Sion is Yerushalayim, the Beis HaMikdash, right? Is an Akara now. It's like a woman who's barren, right? We're praying that eventually in the future, right, there'll be joy not just with the Chassan and Kala, but also Yerushalayim. Joe Biden made his way to Israel yesterday. He landed on the tarmac around 3:15 p.m. here in Israel. Was promptly greeted with a fist bump by Yair Lapid, who was the caretaker prime minister over here. I don't know why they're doing fist bumps. I mean, I don't have to handshake. Maybe it's because of COVID. I'm not sure. They're doing fist bumps. That's okay. I mean, I guess it's 21st, 21st century. Um, if it was me, I'd do a handshake. But listen, they do it. They're cool with each other. Um, and what was interesting about it is that someone told me today that Joe Biden said that he was a Zionist. I don't know if this is true. He told some Israeli that he was a biggest Zionist. Could there be? He's Christian, I think. I mean, could there be a Zionist as a Christian? Maybe, I don't know. Here, Steele seems to be Jewish people or not, but either way, maybe he just means that Israel is a big ally of America, and he's just reinforcing the idea that he has their backs. He has Israel backs, which is very nice to know. That Joe Biden and America have the backs of Israel. Obviously they didn't invite me to greet Joe Biden. I don't know why I wasn't invited. I'm not really sure. I called up my secretary afterwards. I say, wait a second. They didn't invite me to go meet Joe Biden. They said, no. Joe Biden wants to come to you. He wants to come to Telestone. So it was nice because, I didn't have to go to the airport. I had to drive all the way to Ben Gurion Airport. He actually came to me last night. We had dinner last night, 8 o'clock, by my house. It was very nice. Me and Joe Biden, we talked a lot about, political issues in the area, military issues, defense issues, economic issues. We had a wide-ranging conversation. It was just nice to meet with him. People say negative things about Joe Biden, but to meet with him was really nice. He was really he's a distinguished politician. So he really is. I mean, these things are true. He is a distinguished politician. But I did not meet with Joe Biden. He didn't come to my house. He didn't even call my secretary. I don't even have a secretary. I'm joking about the whole thing. Listen, Joe Biden's a nice guy. I'm sure he's a seasoned politician. He's also very tall, if you didn't realize. Apparently they had a conversation. The first conversation, Yair Lapid, who was the prime minister in Israel, and Joe Biden went as follows. Yair Lapid reminded him in 2015 when they had met, and Joe Biden was the vice president under President Obama. He said to him, Joe Biden said to Yair Lapid, he said, I'd be president if I had your hair. Yair Lapid has great hair, it's a good-looking guy. He's short, and Yair Lapid responded to him, I'd be prime minister if I had your height. Joe Biden's actually taller than you think he is. So, it was funny, they're reminiscing now that he's the prime minister, Yair Lapid, and Joe Biden is the president of the United States. So, it was an interesting exchange, and that's it. He's here. Joe Biden is here in Israel. Very exciting. All right, let's get back to the Gemara. So, that's the fifth bracha. And the sixth bracha is Sameach Tesamach Reim Ahuvim Sameach Yishechav Gan Eden Mikedem Bracha Hashem Sameach Asam Akala. That's the sixth bracha. Bracha Hashem Alkeinu Malcham. The seventh bracha Asher Bara Sasam Simcha Chasam Akala Gila Rina Vedita. All these are expressions of happiness. Talk more about Ava V'Achva, love and brotherhood, V'Shalom B'Reyus, peace and friendship. Meir Hashem Alkeinu Yisham Bara Yehuda Chutz Yerushalayim. Hashem should make noises in Yerushalayim. Kol Sazon, Kol Simcha, Kol Chasan, V'Kol Kala. You see clearly, the Sason is for the Chasan, Simcha is for the Kala. Kol Sason going on the Chasan, Kol Simcha on the Kala. Kol Mitzalas Chasanim Chupasam, right? And their Chupasam, and their canopies, the canopy bed. Simcha, the Chasan, and Benarim, Mishen and Ginasam. The other guys were not married. They come to go to the meals. They have festive meals. They have fun. What fun do they have? They go to weddings. They're wedding hoppers. Bracha Hashem Sameach Chasan Makala. This is a little different than the previous bracha. That's a Chasan Vikal. This is Chasan Imakala. I'm not going to talk about that in Yom Hatzion. Levi Ikol Lebei Rebbe Hiluli Roshim Berei. Levi came to the house of Rebbe. Rebbe made the wedding in his house. Could you believe it? In his house. Maybe at a mansion. Or maybe he just had a small apartment in Israel and he made the wedding for only 10 people in his house. Baruch Hamish. And they gave him to make brachas. He took all the Shema brachas for himself. He didn't, they called him up for the first bracha, and he made 2 brachas. And we'd like to honor with the second bracha, the uncle Uncle Shmuel from Efrat. And the guy, he just kept on saying the brachos. He didn't give it. I didn't give the mic. So Levi ikol lebei Rabbi Elulei de Rishon Rabbi Baruch Chamesh Rav Asi ikol lebei Rav Ashi. He came to Rav Ashi's wedding. Elulei de Mar, the son of Rav Ashi, was getting married. Baruch Shis made 6 brachos. Now it means 6 brachos in addition to Baruch Bria Gofen. And the 5 brachos before Levi was 5 in addition to Baruch Gofen, really 6. So what's the machlokos? It's clear from Rashi. He says the bracha that Levi left out was Yotzer Adam, the first bracha by Yitziras Adam. What's the machlokos? The person who holds, Levi holds, you don't say the extra Yotzer Adam. There was one creation, man and woman were created together. And some say another consider 2 creations. What does it mean, 2 creations? So I'm not going to leave Rashi's explanation. I think Tosas is more accurate over here. Meaning it's just he was created as man, and then Hashem, when he created a woman, he took from his rib and he made a new creation, Raman. The other one is Shtei Siros Havai. No, they were Partsuf, Shtei Partsufim. They had there was one creation. It was just man's head coming out from one side. It's like Siamese twins from the back. The woman's head back. The woman was in back of the man, and her head was in the back of man, facing the other way. So they're facing away from each other, and then Hashem separated them from the ribs, and he made 2 creations. Lo, the Chulei Machari Yitzira Havai. Everyone agrees it was 1 Yitzira, right? Marsar Basar Machshava Azlina. The one who says it's 2 Yitziros make 2 brachas of Yotzer Adam. Because you go after the Machshava, Hashem originally wanted to make them as 2 separate creations, 2 partsufim. Marsar Basar Maisa Azlina. The one who says Basar Maisa. At the end, Hashem created only with 1 face. But it still says in the Torah, Zachar and Akeva Baram. We'll have to explain that in Yom Sion. Talk about the difference in an androgen and a hermaphrodite. Marsavar Basar Machshavas and Marsar Basar Maisa Azlina. Kihad Rav Yehuda, like Rav Yehuda Rami Ksiva Yivra Kim as Adam Mitzalmo. It says Hashem created man in His image. Hashem is presumably a man. The Ksiv Zachar and Akeva Baram, but it says He created them with women. Originally Hashem wanted to create them with 2 partsufim, right? A man and female attached like Siamese twins, right? One facing each direction. At the end, the Maisa happened, Hashem created 1 person who looked like a man, but it doesn't mean they have women characteristics. Paul says Zachar and Akeva Baram, so I'm giving you a little teaser over there. There is a difference in androgen. We'll talk about gender identity, all these political issues that are coming up. Gemara touches on these, we'll have to get into that a little bit. Rav Ashi Ikla Bei Rav Kahana. Rav Ashi came to ask Rav Kahana. Yom HaKama Baruch Kulu. He was the rabbi. He was the Rosh Hashiva. He made all the brachas. Mikan ve'elach, when he came back, he came to all the Shabbat. Ikapanum Chadashas Baruch Kulu. If there was new people who came, he made all Shabbat brachas. We love Fushei Simcha Ba'amu. It's just extra simcha. Meaning it's not joy it's not euphoria for the man. It's joy for the woman. And Shabbat brachos is based on the man. We'll say you say Varav Simcha Mono. You say 1 bracha Shabbat, and you also say Simcha Mono. The Simcha is for the woman. And all 7 days is always simcha for the woman if she's a psula, and almana 3 days. Asher bara and Asher bara, the first bracha. Mishiva v'ashloshim, from the 7th day after the wedding until 30 days after the wedding. Bein amar lu machmas silu, bein lo amar lu machmas silu. If they have a gathering, right, and the chassan and kala are included, they have a party. Whether he said it's doing it because of the wedding or just new part in the family, new person in the family. When you bench, you say shesim kamon. Mikan ve'elach yamar lu machmas silu. After 30 days, if they say we're inviting him just based on the wedding, he got married in Israel and coming back to America to meet with family. This is like the wedding in America. So then you say Shem Chamono be low. If you didn't say it's because of the wedding, then not. How much time? 30 days until when? Amar of Papa Shmei the Rabbi Tracer Yarkishasa 12 months. Mikara me'emas. And can you do it before? Can you say Shem Chamono before the wedding? Yeah. Amar of Papa Michiram Musai Bistane. They start preparing the beer. They start buying the beer for a couple of days before. They get all the food ready. Then you can start saying Simchamono if they get together for a feast. The chassan and kala. Ain't he is true? Obviously not the week before because they don't see each other before. Harav Papa, I don't know where that's from. Harav Papa, any Harav Papa Yasik Abba Marbarei Baruch B'Shas Eirison. Rav Papa was a very rich guy. Even from the Eirison, the Sudas Eirison, he was already making Simcha Mono. Shiny Rav Papa, no. Papa, there was no point to signal that he started saying Simcha Mono because someone else, he hired a caterer. He didn't prepare the feast himself. So therefore, the point where they started having the simcha over there by him was already the Erisins. Therefore, even by the Erisin, which was beforehand, he could make simcha mono. Ravina asked the bar lay labre be Rav Chaviva. Ravina he found a mechutan, right? Rav Chaviva was mechutan. Ubarak mishas Erisin. And already at the Sudas Erisin, he started making simcha mono. Amar the kilim gavai lo hadribu. But even though he technically should be going only when they started preparing, he wasn't a rich guy. He says, I know this is the beginning of something special. They're not going to go back. They're not going to break the engagement. Lo yistaya milsav hadribu didn't work out. He was so confident, they ended up breaking the engagement. Rav Tachlif Parmarov equal to Bavel. He came to Bavel. Baruch Shis Arichta. He didn't just make Sheva brachos. He made Baruch Gafin and 6 long brachos. Now, you notice the first couple of brachos don't they start with Baruch, but they don't have another Baruch. He made 6 long brachos where all the brachos started with a Baruch and ended with a Baruch. Relay Silka Sakavas. We don't pass like that. Equal to Be Mahula. He came to a bris milah. Baruch Simcha Mono. He wanted to bless Simcha Mono in benching. He did it. We don't pass that. I'm sure the tree did say sorry. You know, even the woman's not so happy because her child is in pain. Amar Rav Nachman, Amar Rav, Chasanim in a minyan, Vein Avelim in a minyan. Chasanim counts for a quorum of 10. We'll talk more about Shulchan Aruch, about making a minyan soon. Vein Avelim in a minyan. Avelim are not counted for a quorum of 10. Mesiv Chasanim Avelim in a minyan. Right? He says Avelim do count as one of the 10. Masisa Karamis Allah de Rav, Rav Tanu Polit. Rav could argue on a Mishnah. Rav on a brisa. He was on the level of a Tana, right? Itmar Amar Rav Yitzchak Amar Rav Yochanan Chasanim in a minyan and Avelim in a minyan. Like Rav, Avelim don't count. Mesiv Chasanim in a minyan. But they said on Rav Yochanan he wasn't like Rav. He wasn't a Tana. So what are you gonna do with this brisa? So the Gemara answers. How is Rav Yochanan going to answer? The Hab Chedim Beis Kisanya he the Birchas Hamazon. Rav Yochanan say that brisa is talking about Birchas Hamazon. Birchas Hamazon. Right, when you have 3 people or 10 people, you want to count them for benching, so you can count the Avel. He's one of the 3 or 10 to count them to say, you know, just to make a zimun or to make a zimun right with Hashem's name with 10. Rabbi Yochanan b'shura. Rabbi Yochanan was talking about the shura after they bury the dead person, so then they form a line on each side usually in order to comfort the mourner, and they say the people, you know, give their first tanchumim, their first condolences. So. There's you're supposed to have 10 people. You want to do a shura, you put out at least 10 men. The Avel does not count. He said Avelim are not part of the minyan. It's about 10. Bracha b'shura mi'ika. B'shura, there's no brachas. Condolences, no brachas. So Rabbi Yochanan couldn't be talking about the shura. Elak Yamar Rabbi Yochanan b'racha. He was talking about after they came over the Zudas Havara, right? The meal is sponsored by other people, not from the family of the deceased. Other people make a meal for them. It's usually done in maybe a public place, like a street, a cafe maybe, outdoor cafe. So there you make a bracha. We're going to see later this bracha is to make of that velim, the suda of the havara. You make a bracha, at least one bracha or multiple brachos. So therefore he's saying he's not considered one of 10 people. In order you need 10 people to make that bracha, he's not considered one of those 10 people. Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi Yochanan, Mavarcha Birchas Sanim Asar Kol Shiva, Chasanim in a minyan, Birchas Avelim Asar Kol Shiva, Ein Avelim in a minyan. Bircha Rechava Kol Shiva Mi'ika. He said the statement about a bracha that applies 7 days. The Sudas Havara is only the first day of Avelos. So our answer is no. Mishkach is Apanum Chadashos. Technically, you could have a Sudas Havara 7 days. If you have a new person coming to join, Apanum Chadashos for Sheva brachas, Apanum Chadashos for Sudas Havara, right? If you're an Avel, you want to get some 7 free meals. Just make sure to bring some Panim Chadashos. You'll have your bracha and you'll have your Sudas Havara for 7 days. Ki hadar of Chia or Abba Mikri Bnei Reish Lakish Abba. They're going to using a story about a bracha that you make at Sudas Havara. Chia Abba was a teacher of the children of Rabbi Reish Lakish. Amrila Mare Masnei Bnei Reish Lakish Abba. He taught the Mishnayos, not just the Psukim. Shachiv Le Yenuka. The Gemara says here that Rabbi Chia Abba's son died. I would think it's more mistaber that Reish Lakish's son died because Rabbi Chia was in charge of the children of Reish Lakish. That's the way I'm going to explain the Gemara. Chia Abba didn't know what to say to Reish Lakish. He took his Meturgamon, right, his translator, maybe his press secretary. Let's say something to make him feel good. Hashem saw and was angry from what his children did. Dorsha avos minatzim al Kosh Baruch Hu kolas al b'neiim. Right, he interpreted the pasuk that Hashem wasn't angry at the children, angry at the parents, so therefore he took out his anger on the children. And the children die when they're young. The child wasn't a little child; he was actually a teenager. Of marriageable age. Hashem won't be happy with the bachrim, right? The young 20-year-olds. The Yisomim almanos he won't have pity on them. Because all the people, it's not the kids, the parents, right? They're speaking treachery, they're speaking bad things, and they speak disgusting things. Even so, even though he took punishment from the kids, we'll see, Hashem's anger didn't abate. His hand was still extended against them. What does that mean? Everyone knows why a kala gets married. Why does she get married? Right? Have a family. Tell all our friends that she's married, right? Call her college teacher, not a college, call her a teacher from seminary. Tell her friend, hey, I'm married. Look at my diamond. Or ring. Put on this finger. Look at my diamond. This finger. I'm not sure. This is the man's ring finger. I think this is the woman's finger. No, they put on this finger. They say, look at my diamond ring. No, it's not 1 carat. It's 3 carats. 3 carats. Yeah. It's 3 carats. So she the reason she gets married is to have bia with her husband. To have sex with her husband. So everyone knows that. I'll call manabel people. You won't see davar navala. I feel neflam jardin shal shim shana tova nepachal the ra. Even if he has a gzeir of 70 years that are good, it turns into bad. Now the article says navala means explicit. And navala usually means the vela is like dead animal. It's disgusting, not explicit. I said the word sex. I don't think it's a problem saying that. I think when you start saying it in a disgusting way, what they're going to do that night, that's what the Gemara is referring to over here. Asan l'chume. So he's coming to comfort him with giving him these explanations from the psukim. Surakim and he's causing him pain. No, what he's telling him, you're chashav, right? Not that you actually sin, right? The psukim sound like, the father sinned, so the children die. No. Normally, that's the way it is. The father sinned, the children die. But you are tzaddik, and you are korban. You have a korban. Your children are dying based on the sins of other people. Other people committed sins. Other fathers committed sins. Your children die. I mean, their children die. Your children die, and you are the scapegoat for the generation because you're such a big tzaddik. While they were saying things, let's see something nice about Kadosh Baruch Hu. He's very wonderful. Right? He can revive the dead. He does things without investigation, without wonder, without being able to comprehend what he's doing. And if Lo said tremendous wonders. One day he will revive your son. Well, we're on a good note. Let's say something good about the mourners. The mourners, they're suffering. This is death. Death always happens. This is a path of life from the beginning of creation. Many people drank the cup of death, elixir of death, and many will. Just like people died in the past, they will in the future. Our brother Hashem was the Baal Nachamos. Hashem should comfort you. Amar Abaye Rabim Shasu. Abaye has problems with this bracha. Rabim Shasu Lema. Rabu Yishtu Lo Lema. Don't say something that's going to happen in the future. Mishta Rishon Lema. Mishta Achron Lema. Don't say it's going to happen to people in the future. It's going to die. Amar Shibin Lachash Shechin Tanu Shmei Rabbi Yossi. La'olam al Yiftach Adam Pivla Satan. A person shouldn't, speak out what bad things haven't happened yet that they shouldn't happen because they will happen. Sort of. Amar Rav Yosef Mikra. What's the pasuk we learned from? It says, this is a pasuk I believe in. Where is this pasuk? In Yeshaya, right? It says, we were so bad. We were almost like Sodom, almost like Amorah, right? We did. At least some people who remained didn't die. Ahadrele. So the Navi responded back to him. Shimud Bar Hashem Katzini Sodom. He called them officer of Sodom. They mentioned we're not like Sodom, and he said, no. Next pasuk, you are like Sodom. Let's say something positive about the people that comfort the mourners. Pasach Amar Achenu Gomel Chasadim B'nei Chachamim Chasadim. You are people that Gomel Chased, right? You pay back Chasadim. The children who pay back Chasadim. Machzika and Bris Shel Avram Avinu. You do like Avram Avinu did. Achenu Baal Agmul Yishalem Lechem Gmulchem. Hashem should repay what you did. Baruch Hashem Yishalem Agmul. Hashem repays you, or other people repay you when you did something to repay them. Amar Lekoim Milsa Keneg Chol Yisrael. Say something about Klal Yisrael. Basav Amar Bono Lomim Ptei V'Atzal Malei Ra'oshea Am Chol Yisrael. Save Klal Yisrael. Min HaDever, Min HaCherev. From plagues, min HaCherev, from sword, min HaBiza, people spoiling for them, stealing stuff, min HaShaydav and Yerakon, right? The wind ruining the crops, or the yellowing of the crops. Terrible things that happen in the world. Terem Nikra Atata, before they call out, already answer them. Baruch Hashem, Baruch Atah, Otzar Magefa, you stop the plague. Amra Ulav, Amrilam, Masisatana, Sarah Kosos, Tikun Chavim Beis Aivo. They used to drink a lot of wine, right? The Gemara in Sanhedrin says, Tnu Yayin, Sheikh al Mari Nefesh, the Ovid Yayin al Mari Nefesh, right? You intoxicate someone who's going through a tough time. So they had 10 cups they drank at the meal. 3 before the meal, in order to open up your stomach, to entice you to want to eat food. The Gemara says, 2 kos is migra garer, it makes you want to eat. 3 in the middle of the meal, in order to digest the food in your stomach. 4 afterwards. Why? The 4 brachas and benching. So you say 1 cup for each one. At one point in history, they added another 4 to a total of 14. Year 1 to commemorate the chazanim, the gaboyim, the city. The leaders, the financial leaders of the community, the support of the community. Based on Migdash. 1 to remember the base of Migdash. We'll see the significance Rav Gamliel did in a second. It's clear you show them the shtakra, and they drank 14 cups. Most people get drunk after 14 cups. They returned it to what it all. Now you're supposed to drink 10 cups. You know when you're supposed to go to pay a shiva call to somebody, you're supposed to drink 10 cups of wine. Have a meal with them and drink 10 cups of wine. My Rav Gamliel, we should. Rav Gamliel, the Sanya, what did Rav Gamliel do? It was very difficult for the relatives because they had to bury him, with all his wealth, and golden clothes, clothes embroidered with gold and things like that, because you want to give him his last honor. That was the minhag, right? It's like the wedding seder, people go out for the wedding. They went all out to bury the dead person. As you manichan also borchen, the relatives, once they died, they didn't have any money, they just leave him, they wouldn't bury him. He said, I'm ending this. I said, he says, just mere canvas, mere flax clothes, pishtan, linen clothes, doesn't cost so much. After he did that, they all followed suit. It wasn't so expensive anymore. Even canvas, I don't know if this is linen or canvas, barzuza even calls 1 shekel, very cheap clothes. So you bury him, I think here in Israel they bury him in a talus, in the ground, so they don't use a coffin here. Anyway, that's the conclusion of today's shir. Hope you enjoyed. See you in Yud Sion. We're really going to talk about Birchas Chasanim, Sheva Brachos, and I give you a really nice word to say. You're not going to want to miss it. See you there. Bye.